And welcome to Two Tired Teachers.
Coming
and welcome
at you from Arkansas.
Welcome to Arkansas. We decided, hey, what a great chance to go look at one of Arkansas state parks. And so we're here. I'll get you a better view of Pinnacle State Park. But as we were driving down, we saw that they already had the sign pointing over to overflow parking. And overflow parking, we came up this way, saw there's some picnic tables. That was exactly what we were looking for. So the natural state is very natural for us. Right now, it is. There's Pinnacle Mountain over there. I doubt we actually make it over there since we found the picnic tables. They do have this overflow parking, and there's a bridge over there that you can walk around.
Lots of hiking trails.
Lots of trails that they say. And the dogs are now resting there at the picnic table. Let me kind of zoom in on that. Okay, the dogs and I walked over to the entrance that goes under this bridge here. And so this just gives you an idea of the area here. Okay, now I'm intrigued because just walking under that bridge, I'm in a different world. And so if you are really into hiking and you're gonna be in the Little Rock or Hot Springs area, it looks like this park would be an awesome place to come. I shouldn't have come down here because now I want to see where every one of these trails go. But this one, if we go off that way, you can see it winds on back up there. And then this trail has information sign down there. They said there are benches throughout. So this would be an awesome place if you're into some nice gentle hikes, beautiful area. You definitely want to check it out. We are at Crystal Springs Corps of Engineer Park, which is about 15 miles away from Hot Springs. And this campground is actually in the Ouachita National Forest. And so just to give you kind of a panoramic view of what the campground looks like here, we are at site 59, I believe that was. And you can see the sites are kind of close together. There are two sites right there, but you still have your firing, you still have water, electric, picnic table, and the lake is near.
We're at the top of the observation tower area.
Yeah, we're not at the tower. We're driving. The tower is just beyond us, but they had this nice pullover place for a good view of the area. And just so you know, if you're planning to come to this area, really nice picnic area as you come up. So you might want to bring that along with you. And stop and have a nice overlook. And then when you finish, you can go up here. I'm not sure we're going to the top of the tower. However, we can see a lot more than I thought we could.
It has been rain off and on all morning. It's a cloudy day, so the view isn't quite as far as it would have been, but you've got a great view of Hot Springs anyway.
Or we could, just let you think that we've traveled a little more than we have and tell you these are the Blue Ridge Mountains. But it's a gorgeous day. We're having a lot of fun. We are going to go back down and see some of the historic parts of Hot Springs.
Yes.
But this is definitely a spot that you want to come. The drive up is free. I don't remember, it's a minimal fee.
It's like $5 for adults, $4 for seniors, and we're considered seniors here.
Probably not, I'm young.
Yeah,
but anyway,
barely.
But it's a great place. It's a beautiful drive. It's actually a lot cooler up here than it is down in the city. And you're actually still in the city. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Hot Springs is the only national park area that is actually within a city limits. And so it's a very interesting, unique place to come. And so this is our first stop in the literal Hot Springs National Forest. Matter of fact, let me give you a little bit of a panoramic here. That this is, like I said, just a nice little overlook area. The tower that's the base of it there, and there is the tower. something we couldn't see from the angle down below is that you can actually climb this. And I'm going to see if I can zoom in on this guy that's actually up there climbing. There he is. And he's quite a ways up. He's almost at the top.
Hi, we're at the base of the mountain, Tower Drive. We have water here from the springs that you can fill jugs with. It is free, and Sharon took a snapshot of the minerals that are available.
Getting ready to go up the Grand Promenade, and this is just like a nice little scenic path that goes up behind Bathhouse Row. And let's see if I can do this. Tastes like water. Okay, this is the promenade, and that is the road that takes you up to the top of the mountain. You can see there's a path that goes, and you can just walk all of that. Okay, as I'm walking along, I see all these little boxes, and now I'm taking time to stop and look at it. And these are actually, tells you which springs these collection boxes are for. So, don't know exactly how that works. Here we go, and there is Bathhouse Row, and just going to cut down a part here and check out that spring. Some signs over there to give us some more information, but just a beautiful area. And another little water fountain thing here. Really cool. Ow, not cool at all. Matter of fact, very hot. That is very warm water. Very, very warm water. So if you want some actual hot springs, that's it. And then this says a display spring is over here. So they've... And we will go see. I can feel the heat coming off of this. And so this is actually coming out of the rock here. And very, very, very warm. I mean, they do call that hot springs. I'm telling you, it's warm. And more coming out here. So, yeah, it is hot springs. Okay, here we are coming down on Bathhouse Row from the promenade. I came out here at these Double Eagles. That's where that little water fountain thing was.
And the building on the left is the back or the front.
That's the front.
Front of the visitor center.
Right, that is the National Park Service Visitor Center, and it is located inside of
a bathhouse.
Right, a restored bathhouse. And
Fortis, I think is where you pronounce it.
They do have a visitor center sign out front, so if you're coming at it from the front, it's easy to see, but it's kind of a brownish building that you can see. And so they have done everything that they could, I think, just to keep it the way it was.
They've restored 23 of the rooms in it back to its heyday. It's a century. It's more than a century old, the building is.
And by the way, if you hear the katydids, we are voicing over simply because the echo in this room was, it's all marble. It's all marble and tile, and you can see no expense was spared. This was just immaculate. I don't have any idea how many people they may have they had in there at one time. They had stained glass windows throughout, and high ceilings and tile floors, marble, as you can see, for each of the separate bath areas. And
each of the rooms had a tub. The water was piped in from the springs.
Right, marble bench. This shower area, I have no idea how painful that would have been because that water really is very, very warm. And as you can see, marble dividers there separating all of this. And the building is extremely impressive. There are guided tours, I believe at 11 and at 2, they have ranger guided tours. And later on, I did kind of catch up with the tour, and I asked a man about these chambers, and you're going to see there are two of them here in just a minute. There's going to be another tub area. But whenever I caught up with the man, I was asking him about those chambers, and this is the room that the tour was leaving. And he said that one is the one that was for heat. They had mirrors and different kinds of heat in there.
Up to 200 degrees.
And the other one, you sat on a block of ice, and then they alternated, putting you in one and the other.
It was supposed to be restorative or healthy.
Right, not something I would necessarily want to have done. But okay, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not, but there is steam rising off of this little fountain that's right outside of the National Park Information Center. So this water really is steamy. It is hot. I can feel the heat coming from that. So one other thing I want to mention about this, I've climbed back up to the promenade and I'm heading back over to the truck. But those magnolia trees are in bloom. Wow, it smells amazing up here, and all the bees are down there. So. Okay, just walking down the promenade, you can see this, and I think it's going to steam over the lens cap because, man, you can feel the heat coming off of this, but literally just coming out of the side of the hill here is some of the hot springs flowing through. This is a look at downtown Hot Springs.
Some of the buildings have been restored and some have not.
And that's really kind of an interesting thing because some of them are just, you can imagine how they were almost 100 years ago, and then others are really, really not. But we're staying out in the Ouachita National Forest.
About 20 miles out of town.
Right, west, and this is west of town, and this is the exact campground we are at, and a map of that campground.
Yes.
And we are very close. Okay, here is that little waterfall, and on down the way is a day use area. So there's some people, I don't know if you can see them or not, that are up in a little swimming area there. But this water is so clear, hopefully you'll be able to see the fish down here. So you can see just how amazingly beautiful our campsite is. And this is not going to do it justice. But there's a little ravine on the other side of that, and then this goes up there. I have no idea how far, but once again, we are in a national forest, and so this is just totally amazing and impressive, and I can't even begin to tell you how beautiful this place is. Okay, this is Loop A, and this is the section that has no hookups, but it is an absolutely beautiful area. As a matter of fact, there is an RV over there, so if you're going to do some dry camping, this is a gorgeous place to do it.
There's the RV over there and tents back behind us, and those are the only two vehicles in this area.
Our fireside chat has been canceled due to rain. We're going to do our final thoughts with the backdrop of a fire ring. And as we are wrapping up our time here at Hot Springs, we are sorry to be leaving.
Yes.
And one of the things I do want to mention before we kind of get off and recap things, and that is, we're from Texas. We're used to humidity. And if people are coming to this area who are not, then a early spring, late fall trip would probably be best for you because it's humid, but we've been sleeping with the windows open, and
it's cooler than it is at home.
Much cooler than it is at home, so we've really been enjoying it here, but did want to bring that up.
Yes.
And this has been a unique leg of a trip for us. We had some firsts and been kind of fun.
We started out at Crystal Springs, Army Corps of Engineers Park. And
it was a nice park. We like the fact that you can see the sites beforehand, mostly campsites, etc. And we've had extremely good luck with Corps of Engineer parks.
And there was nothing wrong with that camp.
We were actually satisfied with that camp until we came here. And it was just kind of a fluke that I missed well, no. Okay, to turn to that campground, you don't even see that there's a road. It says, it looks like it's a drive that goes between two little buildings.
Yes.
And so I'd overshot it and had to keep going until I found a place that was large enough, because we're hooked up, to turn around. And as we did that, we saw this...
we saw a couple of campgrounds. One was closed, and then there was Charlton, this one.
And this is in the National Park Service. It's actually National Forest, Ouachita National Forest, and this is run by the Forest Service. And so we decided when we finished in Hot Springs that we wanted to come and check it out. And so
we did. The sites are so much larger, so much more spread out.
And it's just a gorgeous area. And so when we saw that they had sites that had water and electric, we stopped and talked to a ranger here, and these are just first come, first serve, and he said, well, if it's open when you get back, then you're welcome to it. And there were several here in the water and electric sites. So we decided this was just gorgeous. I mean, this is absolutely amazing.
We could not pass it up.
And so we did a campsite change, and I don't know that this would be true for all Army Corps of Engineer places. We had already decided it was going to be worth it because this is just $16 a night. But as we left Crystal Springs, the man said, well, since you paid on a credit card, we can refund the 2 nights. So we're actually saving $4. So
that helps too.
That does.
Start toward the next trip.
That does. But I love the Hot Springs area. We will definitely be coming back here. It's a beautiful area. And we did find out a lot about the national park there. But hiking trails, I think there were, 13 or 14 at the mountain.
Yes.
And some of them as short as like 0.2 of a mile, and then some almost 2 miles, and some up the mountain and some around different things there. But we found out there actually is a campground area associated with Hot Springs that we didn't know about. Theo, come here, buddy. And it has no hookups. They're actually, the information we got,
in the process of putting in hookups, but
water and electric.
Yes.
It's 2 miles from the campground. This particular from Hot Springs.
Okay.
Downtown Hot Springs, and we're 20 miles west on 270.
Yes.
And man, in my opinion, the drive back into Hot Springs is nothing to be able to get to stay here.
Right.
And this is just, I think, 2.5 or 3 miles further than Crystal Springs.
Right.
And we're going to be heading west, so that's not a big deal. But the Hot Springs area, the bathhouse row, there are 2 bathhouses that are operational.
And several that are not bathhouses now, but are spas.
And part of the downtown area has been extremely well kept. It's renovated, it's up to date, and some of it not as much.
And the visitor center at the national park, 23 rooms of that bathhouse have been restored to what they were when it was in its heyday.
It was extremely interesting to be able to walk
marble and
to be able to walk through and see that.
Yes.
And then that was very interesting. And then coming out to this campground, to this part, the National Forest here is beautiful. This place, and I don't think we've mentioned this earlier, the sites here, when we decided to come out and drive around here, the tent sites are just $10. If you're going to do dry camping, you can dry camp here for $10 a night, which is...
And it's Loop A.
Is amazing.
And a few
on
around Loop C.
And we're in Loop B, which is water and electric. There's $16 a night, and then Loop C, the full hookups are just $17 a night. We found this site whenever we were driving through and fell in love with it. So They do have a dump station on the way out, so we had no problems with staying here. But it is a gorgeous area, and this is a definite place that we will be coming back to.
I think it is too. And there was one other thing I wanted to mention. I can't remember what it was.
Well, I tell you what, we will put that in the information at the bottom.
Okay.
And we appreciate, and we look forward to you joining us on our next adventure.
Thanks for watching Two Tired Teachers.